What's up, YouTube? All right, I'm gonna do a breakdown of the guns in Valorant. They provided this like shooting test arena in the practice mode or whatever it's called for the game, and it's pretty much like aim bots in CSGO. You can set up bots, and there's like a challenge to practice your cross replacement or your flicks and everything, your recoil control. To break down the guns, I'm gonna compare them to the CSGO guns. There's obviously some really big similarities with some of the guns, and obviously they're gonna add their own unique guns to make the game different as well. With the pistols, you start with the classic, and looking at the buy menu, the cool thing about it is that it shows all the stats of every weapon on the right side of the screen, and it really breaks it down, like the fire rate, the alternate fire rate, which is the secondary, like mouse 1 and mouse 2. There's two different modes for a lot of these guns, and then the damage for all parts of the body and the distances. It's really cool to see the breakdown. I'm not sure if that they're just gonna have this in the alpha or if that's actually gonna be in the full game, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, so the classic pistol is pretty much like the P2K in CSGO. It's the pistol you start out with. It does not cost anything. Honestly, I like to run it on pistol rounds, buying just light armor and then my abilities to like run a strategy. It has two firing modes, so the first one's like just a single click, basic pistol, and then there's also the right click, which is like 3 pellets at once. It's not a burst fire, it's more like a mini shotgun. Moving on to the next pistol, the Shorty. I've seen some people in the 10 minutes I've played buy it. I'm not sure how viable it is really on pistol rounds, because close range it's obviously pretty strong, but it only has 2 shots, and if you're in a situation for a long fight, it's not really gonna help. I'm on infinite ammo, so I don't have to reload, but the left click, the first primary fire mode, obviously has a really big spread, and then on this gun there is no right click alternate fire, so you're kind of stuck with only close range battles with this gun. But it is pretty cheap. It's only $200. And then moving on to the Frenzy, it's only $400. As you can see the stats, just have them shown on the side of the screen too. It's like the CZ in CSGO. There's no alternate fire on this either, but as you can see, it's pretty much an auto pistol. It's almost exactly like the CC. Sometimes on the defending side, I like to buy this with armor, if I don't need my abilities for a strategy, and you're able to mow down multiple people. And then the Ghost seems to be the most popular pistol. I see a lot of people buy it on pistol round. It's like the USP. It is way stronger than the classic, and it just feels really nice. It feels really accurate and nice to use. Excuse my aim, I've literally just woken up. But yeah, so Ghost seems to be the most popular. I've got a skin on it that I was able to unlock, but I love this gun. I buy it as secondary if I'm running the op. And then the last pistol is the Sheriff, and this is probably going to be the most popular pistol. I've already seen it bought by everyone in the 10 mans on eco rounds if you have max money. It's pretty much like the Deagle in CSGO. It's a one-shot headshot. It's 3 shots body shot. It's very, very strong. It's very accurate. And I feel like people are going to get really good at this. My Deagle in CSGO is honestly pretty good, and so I feel really confident using this on eco rounds, just getting light armor and trying to take over the round with it, because you can be really precise. It's just like the Outlaw in Apex as well. I heard some players calling it the Outlaw. It is just like a really fun gun to use. And like if you get really good with it, you can seriously just take over a round self a gun. But that's the Sheriff. I expect to see people getting really good with it. Then moving on to the SMGs, the Stinger. Personally, I have not used this. I've seen some people buy it. It feels like the MP9 in CSGO. It's just like a high rate of fire, not a lot of damage, but you can be pretty mobile with it. The alternate fire is a burst if you're zoomed in. Yeah, so with the Stinger, if you're in ADS, some of the guns have ADS, it's just a burst fire. That's also similar with the Bulldog, which I'll get to. And then the other SMG is a Spectre. I actually do buy this. It's really cheap. It's only $1,600. You know, that's cheaper than any of the rifles, and it's honestly, it feels pretty powerful. It's fully automatic while ADS, and as you can see, like, the recoil is pretty good. I like using this a lot. I feel like I won a lot of close range fights with this. It's honestly a pretty viable weapon. So expect to see people using the Spectre as well. Obviously, I've got a skin on it from using it a lot. And moving on to the shotguns, I don't think I've seen anyone buy the Bucky. It's really cheap. It's got 2 rate of fires. So the primary fire is like a really big spread with the pellets, and it's obviously for close range shots. And then the right click is for longer range and like a compressed shot of the pellets, which is pretty cool for the shotgun. Honestly, it makes it more viable. You can see like the distance, so like the spread, like how close it is here, how spread it is here. That's the same firing mode. Then moving on to the next shotgun, which is the Judge. I have seen actually Brax use this in the 10-mans and quite a few people. It's only got 1 fire, but it's an automatic shotgun, 1 fire mode. It packs a serious punch, and honestly, like I saw people get a lot of kills with this. So I think this will be pretty viable. It's really cheap. It's only $1,500. Then moving on to the rifles, the Bulldog is the first one, and I would compare this to the FAMAS in CSGO. It's fully automatic when you're in hipfire mode, but it's burst fire when you're in ADS, and that's why, like, it just feels like a weaker rifle. I mean, it is, as you can see the stats, and it's the cheapest rifle. It's only $2,100, but it just has the feel of FAMAS when using it in game. It's a solid weapon. Like, sometimes if you're strapped on cash, you're force buying, you might be able to squeeze one of these out, and it's a solid weapon to use. Then moving on is the Guardian. It's $2,700. It's like a DMR. There's no gun I can compare this in CSGO. It's got ADS, but it's a single fire, and it's a one-shot headshot at any distance, I believe. Yeah. So it's honestly a pretty powerful weapon for being $2,700. I think that if you're confident in your aim, you can win a lot of duels with this. Like, I see like tapping is really viable in this game compared to spraying and like committing to deep sprays. So I like to buy this gun a lot if I'm in this situation where I'm strapped for cash, and I feel really confident using it and just getting headshots. Just hip fire. It's a very strong weapon. Then moving on is the Phantom. And so the Phantom and the Vandal are like the 2 most popular rifles. They're both the same price. The Phantom is just like the M4 in CSGO. It's got ADS, it's got a silencer, it's one-shot headshot close range, and then further distances it has a fall off. This is, I think, the most popular one that I saw in the 10-mans. A lot of people like to control the spray. Honestly, it's like pretty easy to control the spray, even deep into the spray. This gun is probably going to be the most popular gun that you'll see people use in their videos and whatever else. And then moving on, the Vandal, just like this is the M4, the Vandal is the AK. It's got a slower rate of fire, but it's a one-shot headshot at any distance. And though the Phantom's more popular, I actually prefer this gun a lot. The spray is not that good. The spread gets kind of crazy, but tapping with this gun is OP in my opinion. I'm whipping right now, but yeah, I think this gun is super strong because of the one-shot headshot and any distance. And it reminds me of the Krieg. Honestly, I'm using the Krieg a lot in CSGO, so that's why I feel really comfortable using this Vandal. I've got a skin attached to this too, but this gun's really powerful. I think people will shift away from using this and using this once they realize, but this is the gun that I always go for. And then moving on to the snipers, we've got the Mercial. It's got a single zoom on this sniper. You move pretty quick, and it's honestly just like the Scout in CSGO. As you can see, it's a one-shot headshot, but it's a 2-shot body shot. Yeah, but it's still really powerful. I see people buy it. It's super cheap. It's only $1,100. That's like nothing compared to the rifles, and you can use it in a lot of situations, so it's not a bad buy. And then the operator. At first, when I was playing the unrated, unranked matchmaking games, I realized it wasn't really viable because it was way easier to just get a rifle and push with this gun. But it's got double zoom, and it's a one-shot kill from any distance. It's got high wall penetration, and I realized when I started playing the 10-mans with like top players and other games and stuff, and we were being more tactical, the op became really useful in a lot of situations, and I started buying it a lot and feeling really good with it. I've converted my sense from CSGO to this, and it just feels really natural using the gun. It just feels just like an op. One thing I did notice is that in CSGO, a lot of technique that a lot of CSGO operators abuse, at least myself especially, is crouch sliding. Like the CSGO op is accurate while crouch sliding when you peek into stuff, or like slide and crouch peek. The gun is accurate, but in Valorant it's not. You can see the red dot goes away when like the shot is not accurate, and that's like a really useful thing. So it took me some time to get used to the fact that it's not accurate while crouch sliding. Also, stutter stepping obviously is a technique used in CSGO, but the rate at like the accuracy recover when you move after letting go of the key is really fast too. So sometimes you don't even need to stutter step, which is pretty interesting. But this gun is very, very strong. As you can see. But yeah. Then moving on to the heavy guns, I don't think I've seen anyone buy the Ares, but it's just a heavy machine gun. That recoil gets a little wild, but the rate of fire is insane. Honestly, like for having high wall penetration, this might be useful to spam some spots like Haven's mid window or something. As well as the Odin. The Odin's just pretty much a beefed up version of it. It's literally a machine gun. You can ADS as well with it, and its damage is pretty insane in my opinion for the rate of fire. Like, I have seen people buying this. I think Myth, he's a Fortnite player, I believe. I was playing with him. He was buying it a lot, and he's getting a lot of kills with it. So this gun is going to be really popular for people trolling around, just like the Negev in CSGO, I think. And then armor, you've got light armor, which and heavy armor. You obviously can't afford the heavy armor in pistol rounds. It's just like CS. And those are the guns in Valorant. Excited to see how they tweak the guns. I do think that the Sheriff is really, really strong, and the Vandal is really strong. I wonder how they'll adjust them, and if they'll add new guns in the future like CSGO did, or if they're going to try to stick to these as the core guns. But thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe and like the video, and leave a comment down below if you want to see any other content. I'm trying to push as much as I can through this short weekend of playtesting and filming, but it's definitely been a lot of fun. I'll see you guys later.